Appointment and Equity Committee meeting today is Tuesday, October 1st. Council Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Calling the roll, Ms. Brown.
Here.
Mr. Gallagher. Here. Mr. Jones.
Here.
Mr. Miller.
Here.
Ms. Conwell.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Excellent. Do we have any public comment?
No, Madam Chair, no one is signed in.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the September 17th, 2019 meeting. Do I have a second?
Second.
It's been moved in second. Are there any questions, comments, or concerns? There being none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Madam Clerk, will you please read the first item into the record?
Resolution number 2019-0212, adopting various changes to the Cuyahoga County non-bargaining classification plan.
All right, if you'll step forward, state your name, and let us know what it is you're requesting this morning.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the committee. I'm Albert Bouchahine with the Personnel Review Commission. Changes in department's operational needs and routine maintenance necessitate the creation of 9 new classifications, the revision of 6 classifications, and the deletion of 5. Before you for your consideration are modifications to the county's non-bargaining classification plan that have been approved by the PRC at their September 11th, 2019 meeting. All the modifications were prepared by the PRC class and comp staff, who has worked extensively with the Department of Human Resources and department management staff to ensure that they're fully apprised of the proposed changes. In accordance with the PRC rules, the proposed changes were posted on the PRC's website prior to your consideration. I thank you for your consideration. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
See a lot of new IT positions here. Is this in correspondence with ERP?
Madam Chair, it is not. At the Director of IT, along with Human Resources, they've requested that we redesign some jobs, restructure them. There are approximately 9 IT classifications that we took the essential functions and created these 6 new classifications that you're considering today. There are approximately 40 employees in these 9 classifications that will be slotted based on their duties into one of these new classifications. There's a negligible fiscal impact of the 40 employees. The total cost is going to be $208 to bring 2 employees up to the minimum of the new pay range.
All right, thank you very much. I'll open up to my colleagues. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Councilman Gallagher and then Miller.
One of the many and varied excuses on the ERP is that they're having a hard time slotting people in IT. Would this be in coordination with that?
Madam Chair, Councilman Gallagher, this is my understanding has not related to the ERP or employees that would be working with the ERP.
Okay, thanks.
Councilman Miller.
Madam Chair, Mr. Bouchahine, my question is about the Director of Real Estate Appraisal position. It says HR has informed the PRC that this position has been designated as unclassified by the Law Department. Could you provide some information as to why it has been so designated and how long this position has existed without it being designated previously as unclassified?
Madam Chair, to Councilman Gallagher, the Director of Real Estate Appraisal was created as part of the county class plan in 2011 with the formation of the new government. Previous to that, it was in the county auditor's office. I believe it was 2017 that the Law Department, Human Resources worked with the Law Department and determined that this was an unclassified position due to the nature of the duties. We are not typically provided the rationale or the basis for the unclassified status. That we've usually told that that's a client attorney privilege between the Law Department and Human Resources. We're simply informed of the civil service status in this case. As you know, Councilman, we are working with your staff to propose ordinance that would kind of put parameters around these decisions going forward. But I wish I had more information for you as to why they designated this, but I will have to defer to HR or the Law Department to relay that information.
We do have a representative from the Law Department, if you wouldn't mind.
Good morning. We'll certainly get that information for you, Councilman Miller.
I just got to state for the record that I have objection to the notion that that whether a position is unclassified or classified should not be a secret process that's cloaked under attorney-client privilege. This should be an open and transparent process in county government, and I think we need to change whatever it is that's causing that to happen.
Madam Chair, if just to kind of save I'm sorry, is it Nemastel or Nemastel? Apologize. Save you a little bit of running around. I believe the people you need to talk to are probably Amy Renwald and Rhonda Gibson.
All right.
I'm sorry, Rhonda Caldwell. I'm not sure who Rhonda Gibson is. Sheriff. There's a lot of Rhondas, he said.
Councilman Miller?
Yes, I'm going to propose that that Exhibit Q be deleted from this piece of legislation and held in the class plan pending further discussion of this issue.
Second.
It's been moved and second. Are there any questions, comments, or concerns regarding Exhibit Q? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any objections? All right, Councilwoman Conwell, I understand you have a question also.
Mine was under this, Madam Chair, the same line of questioning as Councilman Miller's. I would like to ask Albert, in terms of the proposed deleted classifications, are there any feelings from the PRC regarding these deletions?
Madam Chair, Councilwoman, no, we don't have any issues with deleting the other proposed classifications. The only issue, obviously, and we've had these conversations many times, are surrounding positions that are being pulled out of the class plan. So we certainly don't have any objections to holding the Director of Real Estate Appraisal until we get more information. But other than that, the work is now the two of the classifications being proposed, deletion is because work is now being performed by Metro Health at the jail. There's no longer any incumbents at the county jail that perform this work, so we don't have any issues with that. Another classification is at the fiscal department. That position is vacant. It's just that they deemed that to be an extra layer that's unnecessary. The position below it reports directly up to the next higher level, so it's an unnecessary position. The same with the manager of accounting. That position has long been vacant, and the employee reports directly to the manager of financial reporting now, so it's unnecessary. So to answer your question, other than the Director of Real Estate Appraisal, we don't have any concerns.
And when the commissioners meet, these items are discussed in the open setting at the public meeting, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and I don't know if you could just, I know in the past you've sent this kind of agenda. I don't know if I'm still getting the agenda to see when they're discussed, because they discuss when they're deleting them, and the administration always has someone present, correct?
Madam Chair, Councilwoman, there is typically somebody from Human Resources that attends our meetings, yes. Are you referring to our minutes or the summary sheets that I send previous to these meetings?
No, the agenda for when the commissioners meet.
Oh, the PRC agendas?
Yeah.
I'll make sure that if you're not receiving that, you should be, but I'll make sure that you are.
Thank you.
Mr. Buchanan, are there any incumbents? Is there an incumbent in this current position that has been deleted? Q.
There are no incumbents in any of these proposed deletions except for the Director of Real Estate Appraisal.
Okay, so there is someone in the,
Correct, and Madam Chair, there is someone, but the administration has deemed them to be unclassified.
okay. All right. Any other questions, comments, or concerns? All right. I'll make a motion. Do you need this? We'll do 3 readings on this because we want to get to the bottom of Exhibit Q also. So I'll make a motion to move this to the full body of the council. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and second. If there are no questions, comments, or concerns, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. All right, thank you very
Thank you.
much. Okay. Council Clerk, will you read the next item?
Resolution number 2019-0215, confirming the county executive's appointment of Natasha Davis to serve on the Cuyahoga County Division of Children and Family Services Advisory Board for an unexpired term ending 2/28/2023.
Director Pomerantz, will you give us a little bit of background, please?
Sure will. Councilwoman, the Division of Children and Family Services Advisory Board was created in 2018 to further cooperation and collaboration between the Division of Children and Family Services and other child care agencies in Cuyahoga County and render advice and guidance to the division on policy matters that pertain to the provision of services to children and families. The DCFS board has 10 members, and one member recently stepped off, and Ms. Davis is being considered by the executive for an unexpired term expiring 2/28/2023. She replaces Sonia Emerson, who had to leave the board due to educational commitments, and Ms. Davis is here and has a statement prepared.
All right, any questions for Ms. Pomerantz from the committee? There being none, Ms. Davis, if you'll please step forward, state your name for the record, and give us a little bit of background and why you like to serve.
Natasha Davis. Thank you so much for having me here today. I believe that I would be a great candidate for this board because of my experiences in child welfare. I'm a current advocate for current and aged-out foster youth. I'm also an aged-out foster youth myself. I've been in care since I was born. I was eventually adopted and my adoption disrupted. I then went back into foster care. My experiences were unfortunately not the best in the system, but because of those experiences, I grew a passion for wanting to become a social worker and challenge the system on child welfare related issues. Because of my resiliency to not become another statistic, I am not a product of my circumstances. I enjoy advocating for my brothers and sisters because I feel that we all deserve an opportunity to thrive. I knew that I did not want any child or family to experience things that I have, and this is where my passion began. I have had the honor of going to Washington, D.C. to testify to the Ohio legislator on child welfare-related issues. The bill I advocated for was House Bill 50, which was to extend the age of foster care, which after a few years it was passed. I have worked closely with Cuyahoga Community College in finding resources to ensure foster youth have the tools and resources to attend college. With my experiences, I've also had the pleasure of working closely with Children and Family Services. I have sat on panels sharing my challenges and triumphs through my journey in the foster care system. I know that with my dedication in child welfare, I would be a fantastic addition to this board. Thank you so much for your consideration.
Thank you very much for your willingness to serve. I'll open it up to my colleagues. Any questions, comments, or concerns? We'll start with my left with Mr. Jones and then Ms. Conwell.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And again, thank you for your willingness to serve. Question, with the experience that you've shared, what do you see as one of the major weaknesses in the foster care system?
I think mainly it's communication. I think that it's important to not only communicate with the families, it's important to communicate with the child. And that's where I sort of feel that the system kind of failed me in a way, is that there was no communication with me. There was more so communication with my foster parents. And sometimes foster parents are not the best, even though there are some out there. I just think it's important to have that communication with the child.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, through the chair to Natasha, how many placements have you been in?
From what I can remember, more than 7.
And I had another question, but it slipped my mind. Were you in the foster care system here in Cuyahoga County?
Yes, ma'am.
Councilman Miller?
I would just like to thank you for your willingness to serve and to congratulate you on being able to get through this mess that you went through for so many years and emerge in a positive place. I think you're a really good example for other people. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Any other questions, comments, or concerns? All right, I'm looking at your, the resume that you provided us, and I'm very impressed with the accomplishments that you have, and I think, in your words, you will be a fantastic addition. So without further ado, I will make a motion to move this to the full body of the council under second reading suspension. Do I have a second? It's been
Second.
moved in second. If there are no further questions, comments, or concerns, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All
I
right,
would like to share with her, Madam Chair.
Yes, go ahead.
That at the last meeting, I don't know if anyone updated you, but they're still working out the schedule, and I believe they don't know where the meetings will be per se, but every other month, there will be a meeting. So I don't know, I don't remember the time. So just to let you know that's what'll be coming.
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
all right.
Chair,
Yes, sir.
I'd like my name added on this.
I think I'd like my name added as well. Well,
And I would as well.
Jones and Conwell. All right. And Gallagher, the entire committee. Very inspirational, so
Thank you so much.
we look forward to the great work that you will do. So thank you for
Thank you.
coming. We're always pleased, privileged, and honored to have our nominees come before us. And it's important for this body to be able to put names with faces and also the resumes that are put before us. So thank you for taking the time. And again, thank you for your willingness to serve. And congratulations. We'll be voting on this at the full council meeting. So, all right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Council Clerk, will you read the next item, please?
Resolution number 2019-0216, confirming the county executive's appointment of Bernardo Marino to serve on the Metro Health System Board of Trustees for an unexpired term ending 3/4/2025.
Director Pomerantz.
Madam Chair, pursuant to the Ohio Revised Code, Chapter 339, the county executive and I submit the following information for service on the Metro Health Board of Trustees. We are recommending Mr. Marino for a 6-year term, 3/5/2019, ending 3/4/2025, replacing Larry Macon, who could no longer find the time to serve on the board. The candidates for this board will be jointly selected by the county executive and the judge of the most senior and point service. And for this selection, Common Pleas Court, the Honorable Daniel Gull, and for the probate courts, the Honorable Anthony Russo have also signed on these nomination. Mr. Marino could not be here in person, but for your review, we do have his resume here.
I'll open it up to my council colleagues for any questions you may have for Ms. Pomerantz regarding the position.
Yes, through the chair to Michelle, was this the only person that applied?
This was the only person who applied for this open seat. There was another applicant for a seat that is not yet vacated. And through the chair, the executive felt that until that seat is vacated, we would not move forward with any replacements. So this is indeed the only applicant for this seat.
And for the other seat that you were referring to, is that in this year's time frame?
Yes, it is.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from my colleagues regarding this appointment? Going once, going twice. All right, Mr. Marino did submit a letter, and we also received a special request from Dr. Boutros, our partner at Metro Health, requesting that we do move this gentleman forward because they have a meeting this month that he would like for him to participate in. So being the good partners that we are with Dr. Boutros and Metro Health, I will honor that request in the absence of Mr. Marino and the submission of his letter. Again, we would prefer to have a gentleman here, but we've had some engagement with Mr. Marino in the past, so I will move this to the full body of the council under second reading suspension. Do I have a second? It's been moved in second. If there are no further questions, comments, or concerns, Mr. Miller.
Just a comment that if there's any opportunity for Metro Health to take advantage of blockchain technology, Mr. Marino will see to it.
All right.
Because he's been the leader in our community on that subject.
Outstanding. Any other comments? There being none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay. This will move to the full body of the council under third reading suspension. Is there any miscellaneous business? If there is none, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you all.
Thank you.